Welcome to my channel. If you thought you were looking for the VTTDM, you're in the right place. I just changed the channel name to JW the DM since I talk a lot more about other Dungeon Master / Games Master topics. Obviously, I'm JW the DM, and today, well, I have some complaints as a DM GM, but I also have some requests. So here is a list of my top 5 don'ts and top 5 do's that I hope players take to heart. There's stuff in here to inspire GMs too when dealing with players and PCs in their games. Enjoy! Now, number 1. Don't do puzzles, traps, skill challenges the way I thought that you would solve them if you have a better way to do it, or if you avoid it altogether. I'm an adult. I'm not fragile. My feelings won't be hurt if you completely circumvent something I spent an hour or more on. That's part of being a GM. 2. Don't always attack potential enemies right when you see them. There are all sorts of things that can be happening with them. Maybe their significant other just left them. Maybe they don't care you're there. Maybe they can be bribed. Maybe they'll just run away. Maybe they'll have a 10-minute long conversation with you. Who knows? Treat most encounters as if they could go in any direction. Attacking on sight is just a version of being a murder hobo. Before I go on, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It only takes a couple seconds and it helps me out immensely. Thank you. Now, number 3. Don't hold back in an encounter just because you think I worked too hard on that encounter to not play it out the way you think I prepped for. Again, I'm an adult, and that kind of thing happens to DMs / GMs all the time. I'd rather see you succeed quickly and in an unexpected way, or do something insane that makes me scramble, than to see you just stick to my script. 4. Don't not do something because you think it'll force me to improvise. Everything you do is forcing me to improvise. Just some of it is more off the cuff than others. I can't prepare for all circumstances after all, but it's my job to roll with what the characters are doing within bounds set by session zeros. Your job is to make the characters do story-worthy things built on or in spite of what I've provided. Number 5. Don't ignore your character's personality. Pay attention to ability scores in your backstories and roleplay appropriately. Don't forget to look at skills and talents you're proficient in and put the reason you're good at those things in your backstories and play them. Have fun playing with your characters, interacting with the world with the constraints your roles have given them. If it's a challenge, all the better. Notice the theme here? One of the things that makes TTRPGs so awesome and so much better than video games is that you can literally try anything as your character. Now, whether or not you succeed is a completely different question. You must make the most of that. Know that if I, as the GM, feel completely underwater and unable to roll with something your character just did or asked for, I can and will ask for a 10-minute break so I can think things out. And for you DMs and GMs watching this, ask for that break if you need to. Or if it's near the end of a game session, sometimes I'll call the session early and give myself the time before the next session to better prep for the insanity that just came up. Rolling with the punches is something a GM has implicitly agreed to do to provide more fun for everyone involved, and asking for a break to do it is our prerogative. Now, here are 5 things I want players to do. 1. Do ask for more details. I probably haven't fully fleshed out all the possibilities for an encounter, much less put them in my initial encounter description. In fact, I probably left a bunch of stuff out because I don't want to bore you with 10 minutes of exposition for each encounter. So ask questions. There's stuff I didn't think to create that your characters can interact with in fun ways. So make me make them up. The more stuff available for you to interact with, the better. And of course, that stuff is immediately canon in the campaign, and that's always fun to work with. Number 2, do some things from the standpoint of, that's what my character would do. I know you're always told the opposite. Obviously, don't do this to a sociopathic level. There is a social contract between you and everyone else playing the game, and it's a social game and a cooperative game. You must play nice with others and have your character not work against the rest of the party. But, having said that, it's definitely fun to play a low charisma character as either very awkward or very timid or very off-putting, or a high intelligence character as pedantic, or have the low strength thief, have the barbarian carry stuff for him. Have fun. Number 3, do things that are wacky because they're fun to have happen even though they don't make sense numerically. If you avoid doing certain actions because mathematically there's not enough likelihood of success to justify the attempt, then a lot of potentially cool moments are being missed. However, do see if your DM will give you better odds for success, like a lower DC for a skill check, or a cool reward for succeeding or even for trying in the first place. It's a story game as well as a combat game. It shouldn't be all about optimized attacks. Characters should be quirky, and what they do in various situations should be quirky too. Believe me, you'll have more fun. Number 4, do uphold the social contract. If you guys are playing to stop a particular BBEG, or even just trying to work together to get a treasure in a dungeon delve, work with your other players and your DM/GM to accomplish that goal. Your character should generally make decisions that don't hinder it. And I say generally, because ultimately you have full agency over your character. But if you don't play along somewhat, you'll frustrate the other players, including the GM, and you may be asked to leave the table. Number 5, do pay attention to the general vibe of the table. Are most of the players trying to play mostly raw, or are they happy-go-lucky, everything cool goes people? Are they min-maxed power players, or more story-based players? Read your table. I've had to say goodbye to players who I thought were great players simply because they simply played a different style game than what the rest of the table was playing, and it was causing some bad feelings. There's nothing wrong with people having incompatible play styles. It happens, and if you can't adjust to the table yourself, check in with your DM, GM. You may need to find a different group that plays more in line with your style, and that's completely okay. I think the most important of the do list is to uphold the social contract. If you're following that, you're doing your part to improve enjoyment of the game for everyone, including your GM. If you and your players follow this list of do's and don'ts, I think you'll find your game to be richer and more satisfying. So give them a shot and let me know how it goes. Also, I'm sure you DMs, GMs have your own things that you'd like your players to do or not do, so please share them in the comments so we can all benefit from them. And while you're still here, please hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and set the bell icon to all. That'll help me immensely by letting YouTube remember that I exist. Thank you. And thanks for being here once again. I'll see you next time. May all your games be full of glory. Take care.